Hey guys, welcome to my channel, and in today's video we're just going to do a quick November-December TBR, and these books will take me over to my challenge of 17 books for 2017. So here are the books. So the first book that's on my TBR that I've already started reading and have already started tabbing because it is that good is Nervous Conditions by Tsitsi Dangarembgwa. I first read this book years ago when I was a teenager, and this book is a staple in Zimbabwean literature. If you ever say, oh, Zimbabwean literature, Nervous Conditions is a book. So if you're a Zimbabwean and you haven't as yet read Nervous Conditions, please do yourself a favor and get to read this book because this is such a great read. This book is set in colonial Zimbabwe, so this is pre-independent Zimbabwe, and it talks about feminism, the politics of being black and then being a black woman in such a society during colonial times, and I'm just enjoying it. I would also say this is like a young adult book. If you ever wondered what young women were going through during those times of colonization in Africa, in Zimbabwe, this is also a book to read because it's from the voice of Tambu. And let me just read from one of the places I've just tabbed. So we have Tambu, and she's talking to her mom, and she's talking about how, because Tambu has been pulled out of school because they can't afford to send both her and her older brother to school. So she's been pulled out of school, and she's insisting that she does want to go back to school, and if it's by any means necessary, she's going to find a way to pay for herself to go to school. So this is her mom trying to deter her from, trying to go back to school. The business of womanhood is a heavy burden, she said. How could it not be? Aren't we the ones who bear children? When it is like that, you can't just decide today I want to do this, tomorrow I want to do that, the next day I want to be educated. When there are sacrifices to be made, you're the one who has to make them. And these things are not easy. You have to start learning them early, from a very early age. The earlier the better, so that it is easy later on. Easy, as if it is ever easy. And these days it is worse, with the poverty of blackness on one side and the weight of womanhood on the other. Iowa, what will help you, my child, is to learn to carry your burdens with strength. It is amazing how this book is set in colonial Zimbabwe, so pre-1980, and yet issues discussed in this book, we still face them, especially if you're a black woman and a black educated woman. The politics of womanhood and then black womanhood are still so much a topic to this day and age, so this is definitely a must read. Second book on my TBR is, let me bring it closer, let's see if it'll fit. There you go. So it's Dear Ijeawele, A Feminist Manifesto in 15 Suggestions by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. Says what it says. It is what it says on the tin. It's Feminist Manifesto, being an African feminist for that matter, and we know this part of this book was what she said on her TED talk that has gone viral, and also was used by Beyonce in her song, I think it's Bow Down. Beyonce used an excerpt from that speech, and yeah, so I figured, hey, why don't I get this book? I've seen so many people raving about it. It's like 50 pages, 60 pages max. So if you've not read a book in 2017, this is a book for you to kind of, it's a quick read. You read it and then you can say, hey, at least I read one book this year. So the next book that I have is, I think most of you might have read this book, The Hate You Give by Angie. I like this because this is only in the UK version that it says thug on the side. And in this book, 16-year-old Star lives in two worlds. She goes to a rich school, but she's from a poor neighborhood. She's the only one who witnesses the police shoot her unarmed friend, teenager, black teenager Khalil. And yeah, it echoes or it mirrors what has been happening, where unarmed teenage boys have been killed by the police in America. And Trayvon Martin, he had a hoodie, and they then call the child a thug, don't they? So sad. So yeah, I want to read this book before the movie comes out, because what's her name, Amandla Stenberg, is in the movie. And yeah, I just want to read this before the whole rave of the movie comes out when they're doing the promo. So yeah, the next book on my TBR is I Believe in a Thing Called Love by Maurene. I'm really into Korean dramas on Netflix. I enjoy them. If you're on Netflix, check out Atelier. It's a great Korean drama. I enjoyed it. And so this book reads like that, and the reason why I have this book on my list, on my TBR, and I even bought it, is Amory has a YouTube channel, which I'll link down below. Amory, the R&B singer, the one of And This One Thing fame. And she recommended this book. She was like, if you ever want to read a really good, feel-good movie, in 2017, she recommended this book. So hey, who am I to say no to a good suggestion? So I went and I got this book. The next book I have, talking of love stories, is African Love Stories, an anthology, and this was edited by Aidoo, and it's a collection of short stories. Chimamanda Adichie has contributed to this. Doreen Baingana, Helen Oyeyemi, they've all contributed their short stories, and it's just love stories from an African perspective, because we know sometimes they make African women seem like, oh, they're just stuck in poverty and there's no lives going on. So this is just a great book to have on your bookshelf, I suppose, and something to read. I've always been a fan of Aidoo, and yeah, I could never say no to a love story, and especially an African love story. So the last and seventh book on the list is What It Means When a Man Falls from the Sky by Lesley, Nneka, Arimah. And this is a collection of short stories as well. And yeah, I've read great things about this book, and I decided, hey, why don't I delve into it? I know I just read one short story where she's talking about grief and providing this family, this grieving family, with one last chance after the mom has passed away, where she comes back and she visits for just one day, and they all get their moment with her because she passed away in a car accident. And yeah, it was just a feel-good story, I suppose. And we always, when we've touched with grief, we always wish we were able to have that one last final conversation with our loved one. And so in the story, Lesley provides that for the family. And yeah, so looking forward to reading this. With that short story, it read so quickly, so I think I'll go quickly through this book. I think all the books that I've actually shared here are quite easy reads that I'll be able to go through them quickly during this month and part of next month, so that I will have hit my target for 17 books for 2017. So let me know, what books are you reading this month and this winter season, or if it's summer, wherever you are, what are your summer reads? And let me know what you're reading. And have you read any of these books that are on my TBR? What are your thoughts on them? Let's have a discussion down below. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.